What is up, everybody? How about Gamestop, huh? Interesting stuff. I learned a lot about the stock market today by just watching some of these videos about what actually happened. The idea of a short squeeze. What's up, Nathan? And geez Louise, yeah, I saw that on there. I saw that we need to do some core protect investigation, and we'll get to the bottom of it. Hashbrown446. What's up, man? Thanks for following. Whew. So, in summary, someone correct me if I'm wrong about this whole GameStop situation. It seems like more core protect on the mob farm too. We'll core protect whatever needs to be core protected. Let's just put it that way. But right now we're gonna wait for a little bit before I jump in there. I did shave. Shaved a little bit. A little shorter than I normally shave. You got me a gift. I'll have to take a look. Yeah, I've been playing some balloons. Some balloons STD. Oh no, sorry. Balloons TD. Balloons STD. That's a very different game. I've been doing this very like from a very diligent point of view. I've been trying to get the medals on every map. But apparently I can't do the expert yet. I haven't unlocked expert level. So right now I'm on hard on this map. Yeah, I think so too, Nate. I got to complete a certain number before I can get in there. What's up, Ashi? So yeah, Lamarck. Oops. Oh well. Oh, I forgot I'm on hard difficulty. So essentially, Lamarck was the kind of was the guy who said he had this theory, right, that was incorrect, that if an organism doesn't use a trait, right, it goes away. Like it just gets discontinued almost. It's like it just sort of fades away, which is not actually true, right? There's a difference between a trait being unused versus a trait having a selection pressure against it. So there's a nuance there. There's a slight difference there that is important. And so I guess it might be worth talking a little bit about. So like, let's see, how could we explain this in a way that makes sense? So imagine you have, let's see, what did Nate say? And you don't use wings, if a bird doesn't use his wings. Yeah, what he meant by go away is he means that trait or characteristic will slowly leave the population of organisms, right? So the idea would be that the birds, if they didn't quote unquote use their wings for a long enough period of time, they would simply just go away, right? Like, he thought that somehow by using a trait or using a characteristic that an organism has, that somehow just by using it, it would maintain the trait in the population. But what we've come to know, and what Darwin sort of proposed that was more of an accurate way of assessing that, was it's not about use or disuse, it's about selection for or against. It's about selection pressure. Meaning, does the trait contribute to survival and reproduction? Or does it not? So for example, if I took a population of birds, and I placed them in a, let's just say, like a cage when they couldn't fly, and we fast forwarded time somehow, and the birds could never use their wings, it's not likely that their wings would completely go away, right? They would still have their wings, they just might never disappear. The only reason why the wings would go away, there would have to be some sort of selection pressure against the wing, meaning the organisms with the birds with longer wings would somehow have to be selected against by the environment, meaning that they were not surviving and reproducing as well as the ones with shorter wings. We're actually going to use the wing example in class on Thursday and Friday. We're actually going to go through a real life example of the evolution of a species of bird whose wings become shorter and shorter over time. So we're going to actually go through that example in class. That will probably clarify it a little bit more. What would it be like if it was in a person? If it was in a person, that's a good question. You mean like you want an example of what, an example of a trait going away in a person? So he's saying that evolution can cause vestigial structure to just go away. Yeah, pretty much, Ashi. Yeah. That's pretty much right. Right, so imagine a trait is completely neutral and doesn't contribute to the fitness of an organism either positively or negatively. It's completely unimportant, which is what we would say like a vestigial structure is one that is completely neutral in terms of the survival and reproduction of an organism. It has no effect. A vestigial trait simply stays there. It doesn't go away, it doesn't increase, it doesn't change. Except for very rare cases with random change, which we'll talk about later. There's something called genetic drift. But aside from that randomness, that would just be there. That would just stay there, and it would never change.
Daily bits.
Marcus, what's up, man? Thanks for the bits. But obviously Lamarck was wrong, and we know that the only way a trait can change, aside from random issues that we'll talk about later, is because it is affecting the survival and reproduction of an organism, meaning it is selected for or against, not just that it's not used. Oops. I'm gonna die here. I'm gonna lose. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah. I mean, we doing the thing we do in school in person. Wait, say that again, Nate. I don't think I quite understand what you mean. I don't comprehend the question. What up, Sanjay? How are you? I don't like these early rounds. Early rounds are rough. So wait, Nate, which activity you're talking about? The Flightless Birds that we'll talk about, or the M&M thing? Because they're two different things. Very different things. Thanks for the follow, Sanjay. Sanjay, sorry. The Flightless Birds one, we'll do it online very much the same way we do it in class. It's just a case study. We're just talking about an example of a species of birds whose wings have decreased in size due to evolution. So we're just looking at an example of a species that has experienced it. We're not actually like doing anything other than just sort of like kind of looking it over. What's up, Ahana? The temp check is going to be about, it's going to be about essentially the video lecture, material from the video lecture. And it's also going to be about a little bit about like the VIST stuff we talked about in class. So video lecture and the VIST kind of concepts. Thanks for the hydrate, Jeez Louise. No problem, Mahana. It's going to be a 10-question temp check. There's going to be some true and false, some multiple choice, straight from the video lecture mostly, and then a little bit from what we talked about in class on Monday or Wednesday, depending on what day you were in class. I think I've unlocked every monkey. At this point. At this point, I've played the game long enough that I have like a certain strategy that like I do every time, and it seems to pretty much just work entirely. What I do is I start off with one of these tack shooters, and I kind of upgrade it a little bit. That gets me through the first couple rounds. Then I lay down, usually this guy, Striker Jones, for about blasting, and then I'll put down a ninja for camo detection. Upgrade these guys a little bit, and then the next thing I usually do is I like to take an alchemist, and I place the alchemist down, upgrade the potions, and the potions from the alchemist can break lead balloons. So I've got camo and lead covered here. Then I probably will put down one of these guys, these cannons, just to deal with the more lead balloon stuff. I do use the wizard monkey, although I stopped using it as much as I used to. I kind of rely mostly on ninja for camo detection, but I do throw a wizard in once at a certain point. Ahana, I don't know if you mentioned this in class, but will we have to do a graded running like the one we did about the draft? Yeah, so not tomorrow. We're not going to do that tomorrow. The temp check is just multiple choice and true false. Make this maybe a little bit. This is probably an annoying sound. I realize. Bring this down. Actually, you know what? This is probably just annoying in general. I'm trying to think of when we'll do a graded one. It'll probably be next week sometime, where we'll do like maybe a short answer exit ticket that'll be graded for quality using the rubric. I do like the wizard though, actually. I usually throw a wizard in here in the beginning. I go heavy. I don't know how other people play this game. I use like monkey sense. This is pretty good too. I front load this thing pretty heavily. Ooh, that snuck by. That's okay. I don't know, the Max Phoenix. Where's the Max? Which one has Phoenix? The wizard? The path I did not choose. I also really like the helicopter. And I like the helicopter because of the Moab push. The Moab push thing is really nice. It like to keep those things back and allow my cannons to hit it in the front. Is the M&M lab going under quality as well? Most likely, yes. Most likely, yes. I'll probably grade some of the analysis questions, and you have to make a graph for it. So I think I'll do quality on that one. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. Yeah, see, that was kind of... Oh, they're not stripping... What's going on here? This is not normal. Normally I don't lose this badly. What is not stripping the camo correctly? Oh, the shimmer. I hadn't upgraded shimmer. That was the issue there. I had forgotten about that. You're curious about the M&M lab. It's going to work pretty straightforwardly. We'll be doing a... it's not worth me explaining right now, to be honest, because I'm going to have to just re-explain it again in class to everybody else. So there's no point in me sitting here and talking about it too much. You usually just have to hear it again. Bloon Jitsu. These are wasted down here. No problem, Mahana. I also stopped using the banana farm. I kind of like having a little bit of sound. I kind of stopped using the banana farm. It just felt like it wasn't that good of an investment. I feel like if the games were a lot longer, it would make sense to do the banana farm. But the games go by pretty quick. Almost feels like not worth it. And then I also like these ones. These guys are pretty good. What are the other final upgrades for the wizard after the necromancer upgrade? I don't know. How do you look at it? You have to go over the wizard on this side, maybe. It goes to Prince of Darkness. It's more just reanimation stuff. I feel like the games are too short to even get to these stages. Like, it doesn't seem like I can ever get enough money at one time to upgrade all the way to its like max level. So what I end up having is just a bunch of one tier below the max units, and that still seems to be enough to win. I feel like this game needs maybe I haven't experienced the expert level, and that would be like maybe 100 rounds, which would maybe make it more make sense to get to a level where you start using these higher end tiers. Uh-oh, I'm starting to they're getting through now. Let's see, I gotta lay some more stuff down. Let's go with Superman. Give him a little more range. Supermans are pretty good. Sometimes I like to throw a glue gunner in there, but I don't really have room for him at the front to get everything slowed down. So it's not really worth it right now. Sometimes I just like to double up on these. Get a couple of these. There are other modes, I think, though. Yeah, I think there are. I think I just wanted to get to a point where I felt comfortable with most of what the units had to offer. Their upgrades. I mean, but who knows? Like, the strategy that I'm using right now with this sort of setup that has been working for me might not work in certain modes. It probably wouldn't work to a certain extent at like a harder difficulty. Erebus, I didn't see your hydrate. Thank you. Comanche defense. It's getting a little close here, though. Yeah, when they start getting that far, you know you're not. Things are getting dicey. Upgrade that for cheap. What else is good? Maybe. Maybe try out the mortar. I don't use this one that much. Bigger blast. Would I be able to elaborate more about convergent evolution? Yeah. Convergent evolution is not that tricky of a topic. Think about it in the sense that you've got two traits that have evolved separately, completely separately between two different species, but they have sort of the same function, right? That's the idea of convergent evolution. So oftentimes the easiest example of convergent evolution is the example of like wings in an insect and wings that exist in a bird, right? These are, even though they both function to allow the organism to fly, right, as its function of the trait, they're very different in terms of how they were structured and how they evolved, and they evolved separately from each other. It's not like the insect with wings and the bird with wings had a common ancestor that also had wings, or had a similar structure that turned into the wings of the fly and the wings of the bird. It's that there was the birds evolved wings completely separately in their own evolutionary history, and the insect evolved wings completely separately in its own evolutionary history. And they both created this structure of the wing to fly, but they're completely unrelated. It's a coincidence that they both have wings. There's no relationship there. So that's like one example of convergent evolution that kind of might make sense. I guess we could look up some other examples. Let's see, examples of convergent evolution. Okay, so this is saying like body shape for water. They all have a similar body shape, like sort of a tube streamlined shape, but the shape evolved differently between them. Yeah, so you have a shark, an ichthyosaur, which, do they even exist anymore? Ichthyosaur? Large extinct marine reptiles. Okay, so you've got an ichthyosaur, which is a marine reptile. You have a shark, which is a fish, a marine fish, and you have a dolphin, which is a marine mammal. So you have like three different classes, or what we would say like, I don't know what the exact, how they're categorized. Is it a clade or something like that? I forget the nomenclature for that. But essentially, these are three not very closely related organisms, but yet they all have converged on a similar shape, right? They've got the fins on the side and the dorsal fin on top and the fins in the back. It's very clear that these kinds of traits, the positioning of these fins and the shape of the body, right, and the pointedness of the face and the nose, is a very useful / selected for kind of shape that evolved in these three different organisms, but completely separately. You'd have to go back a very long ways in the evolutionary tree to find a common ancestor between these three, and that common ancestor might not look anything like these three because it's so far long ago. So that would be considered like convergent evolution. Does that make sense? So because they evolved in similar environments, they have similar traits, even if they're not really related to each other. Doomkaza. I shaved. I did not get a haircut. Be surprised at what a shave can do to you. It really transforms you. Okay, good. I look younger. Yep. Yesterday we were watching some clips from my streams from when I started streaming 3 years ago, and how young I looked made me want to relive those days, those early days. No, I'm just kidding. Heavy shells, artillery battery. I think I'm gonna need a more no water on this map, which is kind of annoying because I like to use the subs. Honestly, you can kind of just spam helicopters at a certain point and they'll get the job done. What was I gonna do? No. Military? The M&M lab is not due next class? No. The M&M lab is not something we've even started yet. Is there an error on Schoology or something? Did I mess up? Did I mess up? No, I didn't publish the M&M activity. Due February 3rd. Oh, yes, you do. You have to prepare something for next class. So there is some homework associated to making sure that you color and cut out those M&M squares. Or not squares, those circles. These ones. So make sure you color these in. These color the top ones in green, color these in light blue, make these medium blue, a medium shade, make these dark blue, and then brown, green, and then just leave these white. But you have to cut each one out. I know it's kind of a pain, but you got to prep them so that we can actually use them in class on Monday or Tuesday, depending on when I see you. It's actually a good one. Ooh, this one looks tough. End of the road. Oh, they go back and they come back. This looks actually easy then.
Get on with it.
%5 seems so low. So has anyone played this game till it's like culmination? Like, is there an end point? Can you like beat the entirety of it? Because I've put like actually my Steam playtime on this game is not accurate, because I actually leave this running sometimes just in the background inadvertently, so can't really use that as a barometer of how long I've actually played it.
Mission.
All right, let's see. 2 hours. Who do I trust to give me some detailed info? Gamestop. Oh, this one, yeah. AMC too. What happened to GameStop? So GameStop got, so I just to give you like, so basically, it's a little technical, but in essence, what happened was GameStop. You know what GameStop is, right? They're a company that sells video games. They're like a mall shop, sell video games, hardware, and stuff like that. They've been doing really poorly, right, over the last several years. They've kind of been going downhill. Their stocks prices decreased. They've been losing money. They're kind of on their way out, as most people like buy their gaming stuff online, right? Like no one really buys stuff from shops like GameStop as much anymore. So, you know, they've been going down, And so apparently a big hedge fund, I forget the name of the hedge fund, but basically a hedge fund is a investing sort of company, like a Wall Street kind of company, who has a lot of money, usually billions of dollars, to invest, and it's usually other people's money, right, that want to invest in their hedge fund. They give them their money, and then these people like work their Wall Street magic to invest. So apparently there was a hedge fund that was doing what's called shorting GameStop funds. So when you short a stock, essentially what you do is you borrow the stock from somebody, right? Meaning like you borrow it from them, and then you sell the stock that you borrowed from them, and then you wait for the stock price to go down, and then you buy it again and sell it back to them, or give it back to them, and you keep whatever profit you made. So when you short a stock, you essentially are betting on the company doing worse, right? So you're saying, I'm going to borrow this stock from you that's currently at this price. I'm going to sell it at this price. And then because I think this company is doing poorly or the stock is going to go down for some other reason, I am going to then wait for that to happen, buy it back at a lower price, and then give the stock back and make the money and keep the interest, or not the interest, but the extra money that I got from selling it high and buying it low and then returning it to that person. That's called shorting. That's what, like when you short a stock, that's essentially what you're doing. And so this hedge fund was doing this to GameStop because they figured GameStop is going down, their stock is really low. What if we just buy a ton of GameStop stocks or short GameStop? And apparently, and this is the part that I don't 100% know because I'm not like a super savvy guy in terms of stocks and how all it works, but apparently this hedge fund company was doing this to such an extent that they were literally forcing GameStop to go out of business because of the way they were shorting the stocks. And there's some way in which they were doing it so that GameStop didn't even have enough capital to like continue their business. And so their goal essentially was to short the stock so much that GameStop goes out of business and then they make a ton of money, right? So what happens is some people on Reddit in a subreddit called Wall Street Bets figured this out. Because apparently it's public knowledge, like that when you can look up companies and see how much of their stock is shorted. And apparently like 150% of GameStop's stocks were shorted, meaning this hedge fund was shorting so many of GameStop's stocks that they were shorting more stocks than were even available, which is insane. And so they were like, oh wow, this company, this hedge fund is betting huge on GameStop basically going bankrupt and going out of business. So what did Reddit do, or this Wall Street Bets community, is they decided to do what's called a short squeeze, which is when you start buying GameStop stocks to raise the price, which is not what the people that are shorting it want you to do. So as the price goes up, the company that's shorting the stocks, they have to then buy those stocks back before they wanted to, because if the stock goes up too much, they've shorted these stocks, so the stock has to go down for them to make any money. So if it starts going up, they kind of panic and go, oh shoot, we have to sell. Dang it. Oh, I won anyway. We have to sell or else we're going to lose a lot of money, right? But the problem is when they start buying their shorts back, that continues to inflate the price of the stock because now they're buying stock back. And so a lot of people on Wall Street Bets basically forced a short squeeze. So this company lost basically all their money, like $13 billion of money was transferred from this company to others. And it was such a degree, it was such a scale that Wall Street they just stopped trades for the day. They basically, there's a lot of stuff going on there that's pretty messed up. It was almost the equivalent of like the hedge funds at Wall Street, because shorting stocks to that degree is pretty unethical, right? With the actions that they were doing, right? If that's truly what was going on, as far as my understanding. So like that was a pretty unethical thing to do. And then when a group of people on Reddit sort of recognized what they were doing and then played the game that they were playing and beat them at their own game, they were like, oh, no, we have to stop trading. We're losing. So it's like, even though people played with their rules, they shut the trading down, which is kind of bizarre. It's kind of messed up. But apparently people made a lot of money because GameStop's stock rose like, I think it was like 1,000% or something. It went from like $10 a share to now up into like 400. So not quite 1,000%, but like 400%. And apparently there was one guy on Wall Street Bets who kind of was the initiator of all this, who turned 60,000 into $50 million, something like that. What's up, Arya? Well, Wall Street Bets people are built different. Have you ever looked in that subreddit, Wall Street Bets? Oh my, they're insane. It's a little too much. Like, you don't want to be a Wall Street Bets guy, because people in that thread will put their life savings on a single stock, which is essentially gambling. Oh, but they do some really cool stuff. Like this whole like GameStop short squeeze thing was actually really cool. It was kind of like throwing Wall Street's sort of seedy tactics right back in their face. And then Wall Street cried and was like, "Oh, you beat us at our own game, so we're going to stop trading. This isn't fair anymore." It's a classic move. And now they're calling to get bailed out. Like, we need to get bailed out because it's the kind of the same thing that what happened to the subprime mortgages in 2008, where you have these hedge funds and these people that are investing in things in really shady ways, really sketchy ways. And then when things go bad, they cry for a bailout. That's as far as my understanding of it goes, right? This is a complex thing. So I was trying to find a good video. What was one that you linked, Nathan?
In the meantime, video game retailer Gamestop is set to continue their head-spinning ascent today. Shares are now up more than 60% pre-market amid an ongoing battle between bullish day traders and hedge fund short sellers that have bet against the stock. GameStop shares have now risen some 700% year to date. Christine Romans is here with us on this story. Christina, look at this price action, and it's absolutely eye-watering. The market analyst in me is cringing at the frothiness and all the analogies that we can make here, but there is a story here beneath the surface of hedge funds, the big guys shorting this, and smaller players, retail investors buying it and making windfall profits, at least on paper.
So when they say retail investors, that means individuals usually. So these are like the Redditors.
At the expense of those short sellers. I mean,
Right.
It's like a David versus Goliath story, or it's a storyline in the TV show Billions, or it's a Michael Lewis story novel. You know, it's all of those things wrapped in one. It's so interesting, and people keep talking about it and talking about GameStop. Look, the fundamentals of the company have been rough here. You know, they're not making any money. They've been closing stores. You see these big short positions in the stock, and then this Reddit board, this Wall Street Bets Reddit message board. It's almost like a populist trader uprising to support the stock with these.
So a lot of times what you might hear in media is a lot of people might be against what the Redditors did, because technically I think it is illegal I think there is some sort of illegal thing to do, like where you can't get a bunch of people together to collude to intentionally drive up the value of a stock. There's something like that, but I don't think that's not necessarily what happened. It wasn't collusion. It was more just a bunch of people deciding to invest in something because they saw that there was it was being overshorted in a way that was pretty risky, and then they called that. So
buying of the out-of-the-money options and really hurting the big guys. So it's just been this interesting revolt that somebody's making a lot of money on, someone is not, and certainly is far out of line with the fundamentals of this company. You know, it's funny, in some cases people think it's sort of funny how regular day traders could distort a stock price so much, but one wonders what they think about this at the Securities and Exchange Commission. You know, is it manipulation or is it just fair and square talking up a stock? It's fascinating.
I know, there's a lot
well,
of
it's pretty fair and square.
mom and pop investors here that could be cheering at this moment and could end up in tears. And your point about the regulators here is absolutely pivotal for me. I mean, step forward Gary Gensler, the former Wall Street guy that's now going to head up the SEC. This is fresh meat, I think, for the regulators and those voices, particularly in the Democratic Party, that will be like, we need to regulate hedge funds. Enough of what we've seen. Go on, go for it.
No, it's so interesting because some of the chatter on these message boards is about how this is just desserts for the bloodthirsty short sellers, who are constantly out there making money on weakness in companies, or sometimes not even weakness in companies. So there's a sort of a feeling of righteousness among some of the people who are playing this game. But I mean, they're going after other names this morning too. So I think this is also.
It's funny though, because there is an app. The app that most people use right nowadays to do these trades is called Robinhood, and it's kind of like a Robinhood thing that like is going on. Like all the money that the hedge funds, which are these billion-dollar Wall Street companies, investors, have been bled into like these Redditors. So it's like literally going from the rich to the poor.
Kind of a story of the frothiness of the market overall, where you've got story stocks that are getting so much attention and so much hype here. There's just a lot of money at work in the market. There's a lot of interest from retail investors in the market, and now these story stocks, I think, have really gained a lot of attention here. Maybe not warranted, but gained a lot of attention. Someone's going to be hurting when this thing turns, but for now, it's not turning.
Yeah, froth, not fundamentals.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing? It depends on how it shakes out, right? So it's an interesting thing because what we're seeing is that it's revealing nothing really new. It's revealing that like hedge funds have like really shady practices, and they won't stoop. There's no low that they won't stoop to make money, right? So like, for example, shorting stocks from a company so badly that they actually drive the company potentially could drive them into bankruptcy. And that's kind of a goal of theirs because then they can make more money. And shorting stocks at a rate that is over the amount of stocks that are available. So it was like over 100% shorted, which means that there was not enough shares out there than what they actually had borrowed. So that was kind of a thing too. So it kind of was just another piece of evidence, although we don't need any more evidence that these companies are willing to do. But why do they got to do it to GameStop? Because GameStop was so by the way, this is not hurting or really helping GameStop that much. GameStop is just, their stock went up, but like GameStop is not really the story here, because GameStop happened to be the company that these hedge fund investors targeted to short their stock because they knew that GameStop was going down, and they were betting that GameStop was going to go bankrupt at some point, and they were trying to like sort of accelerate that process by doing what they did. So GameStop is still, like, in the long run, probably not going to be around that much. They were doing pretty poorly. This is just like an interesting thing. And also GameStop just happened to be the company that these hedge fund investors were doing this to. Why did they pick GameStop? I don't know. But the Redditors picked GameStop because the hedge fund companies had picked GameStop. What's up, Matt? So is this a good or a bad thing? It could potentially be good if hedge funds now become more regulated because this becomes to light. But it'll be just another, if it doesn't go that way, it could just be another example of big billion-dollar Wall Street companies getting bailed out by the government. Just like the banks did in 2008 after they had all those subprime mortgages that went belly up on them. So, I mean, it could be good if things become more regulated and more reasonable in terms of these crazy, like, stock games that a lot of these big investing companies do, these big hedge fund companies do. Or it could just be another example of big hedge fund / bank / rich old companies getting away with, shady transaction stuff. Like, just another classic example. So it really depends. But what hedge fund is doing? Isn't it cheating in some sort, like relating it something else? Isn't what they doing is like giving someone drugs to do better? I don't know 100% what you mean by that. I'm pretty sure. So we'd have to do some research on, because shorting is not illegal, right? Short selling is not illegal. So if you look up short selling, is short selling illegal? Wait, was one of these searches, is short selling halal? What? Is short selling illegal? It's not illegal, but I think part of me wants to say that the way that they did it might be because they were over 100% or something, right? So short selling remains legal in most stocks, unlike so-called naked short selling. So what they were doing was naked short selling, which is where they were they were shorting the stocks without having borrowed the shares first. Interesting. What's up, Hacks Whale? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing good, dude. Matt, you saw a TikTok where investors tried to purchase apparently the entire stock of AMC. Well, Redditors did a very similar thing to AMC. They tried to boost it. AMC went up today too. So this Wall Street Bets community on Reddit is very interesting. They pull off some very interesting things. But I want to look at naked shorting real quick. Naked shorting is the illegal practice of short selling shares that have not been affirmatively determined to exist. Exactly. So actually what they were doing should have been illegal, because if they were short selling it at over 100% of the shares, that means that if it's over 100%, some of them could not have existed because it's more than the actual shares. People give people to do better with drug enhancing pills. So isn't what hedge fund doing away like that, but making GameStop go bankrupt? Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone can argue that this hedge fund was doing was okay. And they just got called out by a Reddit community on it. So naked shorting takes place when investors sell shorts associated with shares, but they do not possess and have not confirmed their ability to possess. If the trade associated with the short needs to take place in order to fulfill the obligations of the position, then the trade may fail to complete within the required clearing time because the seller does not actually have access to the shares. The technique has a very high risk level, but has the potential to yield high rewards. So it looks like it's tough to figure out if they were naked shorting or not. Let's see. Let's look at this a little more closely. Let's go back. I want to see. I'm trying to find a video of someone explaining it in a way that might make more sense. But I want to find someone that's reliable. But I don't know enough about stock people on YouTube.
So a company that we are all well too familiar with, known as GameStop, has had a recent surge in their stock market prices over this past week.
Today, the wild surge in GameStop shares continues as a clan of Reddit traders wreak havoc on the Wall Street pros.
Send in the goat.
That's right. This is the same company that was going out of business and claiming bankruptcy in the earlier parts of 2020. And it's the same company that offered me about 10 cents for my 20 video games that I had with them. Yeah, GameStop, I'm never going to forget that one. Y'all were some cheap. Now, nothing drastically has changed with this company's fundamentals, but that doesn't explain the recent surge that we've seen with the stock market and the recent millionaires that have been made in trading GameStop stocks. So by the end of this video, you'll have a full understanding on why GameStop stock has been soaring so significantly. We'll also be discussing behind the scenes of what we're not seeing on the front end that major news outlets are sharing, which is more specifically of the war unfolding between large hedge funds and retail investors just like you and me. And towards the very end of the video, I'll also be going over exactly if this is a position that is too late to catch, is the train gone, or can we actually make it? I'm going to be talking about some alternative stocks that you should be looking out for with similar results that we may get like GameStop has gotten. Before we get started with this video, this is water. I'm not lactating. I was drinking some water before starting this video and I spilled a little drop. Number two, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't sue me for whatever I say in this video. This is all strictly for entertainment purposes only. And at the time of this recording, I have 0 stocks in GameStop, so I don't even have a financial incentive. This stuff is genuinely very interesting. I spent the entire day doing research, reading through every Reddit community I can think of, going through stock twits, going on Twitter, looking at the social hierarchy of behind the scenes of what is happening in the world with GameStop, because it looks like major news outlets are either lying or have no idea what is really going on.
I can't really see what's driving it at this point.
One more thing, I do have a little treat for you. I actually have 4 little treats for you.
Wait, when was this? When did this come up? Wait, why is there not a date on here? Was this today? Yesterday.
Which I will be giving away to people at the end of this video. So why has GameStop stock started to skyrocket over the past few days? Simply put, this is happening because of a term known as a short squeeze. Now, if you don't know what a short squeeze is, that is completely okay because I was able to find this nice little Reddit post that explains what a short squeeze is for dummies. Now, I don't want to say any of y'all are dummies, and if you happen to be one, I wouldn't ever admit that either. Let's say 5 bananas currently cost $10. One ape on the market has 5 bananas. So let's say character 2 comes along and his name is Snake. Snake asks to borrow 5 bananas for a bit and instead sells the 5 bananas thinking price will go down soon. He thinks he can buy them later for less and give them back to Ape, so he makes a profit on the difference. This is known as shorting. If you've ever watched the movie The Big Short, this is what it's all about. We had the one main character towards the end of the movie that went ahead and shorted the entire stock market, going against what everyone was saying, and was able to make a profit while the entire US economy collapsed. So the group of apes notice what stupid snakes are doing and decide to buy all bananas on the market until snakes have no other choice than to buy from the group of apes in order to return what they borrowed. Now, to end this thread, the last bullet point was, if groups of apes stay strong, then price will go up. In this example, the group of apes are going to be retail investors like you and me, and the snakes are going to be the hedge fund managers. We know that there are a significant amount of short positions in some of these companies, and if you get enough people to start buying those stocks, what end up happening is these companies, because they borrowed these stocks or borrowed this money, if the stock prices continue to go up, they'll be paying a significant amount of interest on that amount. So the next thing that they would have to do is to buy more shares of that stock. When retail investors are putting in more shares, and then the hedge funds who originally have short positions are putting in shares as well, you're going to start seeing this exponential growth that keeps pumping and keeps going up, and this is what is known as a short squeeze. Look, guys, this is much more than a simple short squeeze. What we are witnessing right now is a current surge of new retail investors that have heard about stock investing from the evergreen bull market that we've been getting for the past few months, and from the crowdsourcing information that we are able to get from social media like communities of Reddit, Wall Street Bets, and Twitter, and so much more. There's never been a point in history where we've had so much access to this type of information on a day-to-day basis. Another thing to note is that we did come out of this recent pandemic where a majority of people who were at home decided to learn more about things like stock market investing. Now, let me tell you this, I've been doing YouTube for about a few years now, but I've always been looking out on the stock market scene in this niche. I would say about 2 to 3 months ago, there has been an explosion in the stock market growth of viewers, subscribers, and views on this platform of YouTube that I've never seen before. I'm comparing this surge in traffic to the stimulus check that we've seen before in the past, because right now, more than ever in history, I believe people are trying to learn how to invest, what the stock market does, and it is absolutely incredible seeing a bunch of new people enter the scene. But I also do need to emphasize, we have been in a pretty bull market since the crash back in April. What that means is we're not going to have green days all the time. We're not going to see these potential opportunities of joining a short squeeze with other people from a community on Reddit and to take down a hedge fund. This is all very historical stuff, and I really want to emphasize that. Right now, there's no fundamental analysis. There's no technical analysis. There's no quantitative analysis. These are all basic procedures that a normal investor would take into consideration before investing their hard-earned money into some of these companies. Right now, with Gamestop, it is not like that at all. There is no analysis. There is no fundamental principle that people are reading into that are going to guide them in the direction that they should take. In order to figure out what to do, you're going to actually have to look at the social hierarchy of what the stock is trending about, and this means going on Reddit, going on social media, and seeing what other people are saying. The last time we have seen a short squeeze like this was back in 2008 when hedge funds lost $30 billion on the Volkswagen stock infinity squeeze, which is known to literally be the mother of all squeezes. If that was the mother of all squeezes, I can definitely see this being like the grandmother of all squeezes, or maybe the great grandmother. Now, I know I just hit you with some weird terms like infinity squeeze, and we've heard of short squeeze. There's one more you need to know of. This is gamma squeeze. It's a little bit more complicated describing the different types of short squeezes out on the market, but what you just have to realize is that infinity squeeze is going to be a lot more significant than a typical short squeeze that we've seen in the market. It pretty much happens in different fluctuations. Once we have the short squeeze, we may see an additional push from other hedge funds that continue to pour money into this while other retail investors don't back down, and then we get to the point where we see an infinity squeeze that we've seen with Volkswagen. So I know what a lot of you guys may be thinking, well, Brian, is it too late to be a part of history? Is it too late to join the little Davids against the big Goliath? Here's my answer. In my opinion, GameStop still has a strong chance of going to the moon. This is purely based off of speculation and what I'm reading on the forums, but it looks like the Reddit community, it looks like people who are onboarding this, and it looks like the influx of media attention towards this stock is only going to drive it higher from here. Now, I do believe at a certain point we are going to hit the top. It is going to go back down, but I do believe that there is still space for this stock to hit an all-time high. I would not be surprised if we see GameStop going up to $1,000, which I know sounds crazy right now, but based on past evidence of what we've seen with the Volkswagen infinity squeeze, this is still an unprecedented moment where potentials of a new all-time high is not out of the question. I know that if we continue to see a stock like this soar, there will be many more millionaires made just from investing into the stock market. I do also want to mention, please don't let fear of missing out get to you. When it comes to stock market investing, you don't need to get lucky once. You can still make a good amount of money by sticking to the basic fundamentals, by sticking towards basic principles, and knowing how to analyze a stock and learn how to invest properly. Now, if you did miss out...
By the way, anyone who's watching, most of you aren't old enough to even do any investing, but what I'm looking at right now is not your typical, like, reliable way to invest money. So whatever this person, who I don't know who this is, I'm watching this just completely blind, so I don't know what he's going to recommend insofar as how to invest. You typically don't want to invest in sort of haphazard, sort of, ooh, looks like this is going up, let's buy this kind of thing. Usually you're going to come out on the downside of that. Right, a safe investment is being more diversified across a variety of different stocks, like a mutual fund or like an ETF. These kinds of things that are, your money is spread across many stocks. Whereas, what it sounds like he's saying, like, should I buy a bunch of GameStop? Right, that's like one stock, and you just have literally no idea that the thing could crash or go up. is it's never a really safe bet, and you should never put a lot of money into something like that unless you are just absolutely like okay with gambling to an extent that you would be okay with just losing that money. So I don't know what he's gonna recommend. GameStop, right? So he's saying GameStop could go up to 1,000. It's like, who really knows? If you look at GameStop right now, it's at 347. If we look at it for the last 5 days, so here was so it was sitting at $20 in early January, wait, 2 weeks ago. And now it's at 347, right? So this is the short squeeze that's happening right now with GameStop, right? But if you look at the volatility of it is so insane that if you go in, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna put $50,000 in. I'm gonna buy a bunch of GameStop shares, because if it goes up, you know, to 1,000, then I instead of 50,000, now I have like 150 grand. I like triple my money. But it could also just crash and you lose 50 grand, right? Like this would be an extremely risky play to do. So just have to caveat that.
Out on the GameStop train, which I don't
Studying for
think is
midterms, noise. Do I got tacos? No tacos.
For that you guys can potentially join as well. Not financial advice. This is literally a list that I called War on Netflix. So if you did miss out on GameStop stock, these are the ones that
Scurry Snake. Okay, buy the dip. GME to the moon. Yeah, it could happen, but it's also just sort of like it's a risky kind of move. You're gambling. You're basically going to the casino and you're throwing money down on. I'm going all in on black, right? You're playing that game, and if you're okay with that, you're okay with that. But it's not the most recommended strategy in the world.
In order to, so number one on this list is going to be Express, ticker symbol EXPR. The next one on this list is going to be BlackBerry, ticker symbol BB. The next one is going to be AMC, ticker symbol AMC. After this is going to be Bed Bath & Beyond, BBY, and then we have the infamous GameStop on this list. I do want to mention that I do have positions in AMC. I put $10,000 into that stock, and I put $10,000 into BlackBerry, and oh my goodness, you guys. This is live right now, by the way. Well, if you're watching this video later, it's not live, but this is live for Brian Jung. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at this. So I put in $10,000 less than 8 hours ago, and I made $7,660 or 86% back in profit. So my investment has already almost doubled. I think by tomorrow morning, we're gonna see AMC hit a high of $10, and hopefully this is gonna be the next stock. So I will let you guys know if I put any positions into GameStop. I do plan on putting more positions into this. I'm gonna be doubling down on this time. If I lose everything, so be it. I need to learn my lesson from my ignorance. But I also wanna mention, if you're in a tough financial situation, this is not something I recommend you to do. I have a much different risk.
Exactly, right? So I'm glad that he's categorizing that right now. Oops, what happened to my wizard? It seems to me like this person has a lot of excess money, aka like what we would call play money, right? He's got money that he can gamble with. You'd never want to gamble with money that you can't gamble with. Like if you have debt, if you are scraping by and you're saving for something really important, you don't gamble with that stuff. Ashi, would you be able to elaborate about single gene versus polygenic traits? Yeah, that's the idea of a single gene versus polygenic is to get at the difference between oftentimes a discrete or a continuous trait. Let me think of the best way to explain this. I would say the best way to explain this would be like, imagine a trait like, actually let's do this. Where's my paint? So if you got a trait like, so let's say, a trait like height, would it be what we would consider polygenic, meaning it has multiple genes that determine your height. So the trait of height is not just like, there's not just one gene where you get that version of that gene, you're tall or you're short or you're medium. It's like, no, there's actually potentially I actually don't really know how many genes we've discovered that relate to your height, but let's just imagine it's 10 or more, right? Let's say there's a bunch of different genes that determine your height, and each gene could have a variety of different alleles that could give you different heights. So there might be a gene that contributes like to 5% of how tall you're going to be, another gene that gives you a 5%, another gene that's like a 10% gene, there's another gene that's like a 1%, another gene that's like 5%, and all of those genes together give you 100% of what your height's going to be. And so your height is continuous. It can be anywhere in between like a given range, right? And so you have people, the trait of height is very continuous. It's not like you have people that are 4 feet, 5 feet, or 6 feet, and that's it. And there's no in between. It's like, no, you can have a person that's I guess you can technically have someone that's 4 feet, but like it's pretty short. But like imagine you have someone that's like 4 feet. You could have 4 feet 1, 4 feet 2, and you could even have in between 1 inch and 2 inches. Like, because there's so many genes that determine your trait, there's so much variation there that you can have, essentially the trait is continuous from one end to the other. You have individuals at every place. Now, a single gene trait would be one that is determined by one gene only. What that would mean is that usually if there's only one gene determining a trait, it's what we would call a discrete trait, meaning it's either you are this or you are this, right? You're either 5 feet tall or 6 feet tall. Now, height is not a good example because height is definitely not a single gene trait, but something like blood type is a discrete trait that's determined by a single gene, right? Your ABO blood type at least. Right, so your blood type is determined by a single gene that determines whether you're A, AB, B, or O. And there's no such thing as in between, right? Any of those. You're only one of those four. So we say it's discrete. Does that make sense, Ashi? I pulled up my paint application because I thought I might need it, but I don't think I need to draw anything, actually. What would be other examples of single gene traits? Okay, let's think. Blood type. I mean, we can just look up some. I don't know that many. A lot of disorders are single gene traits. Single gene. Oh, yeah, some of these classic examples of single gene traits. Hitchhiker's thumb, yeah, I guess. I don't know. Some of these are actually not true. Whether your earlobes are attached to the side of your head or they're free. Whether you have a Windows peak or not. Right, whether your hairline is like straight or it comes down to a point. The ability to curl your tongue into a U shape, right? Like that kind of thing. I don't know about this. I heard eye color is not a single gene. This might not be 100% right. Yeah. Is a single gene trait cannot have ranges. Kind of. When you say range, it's important to understand that what we mean by range is not necessarily a range, because you can kind of have a range of blood types, but it's not really a range because it's not such that you could potentially occupy any location in between those two ends, right? So for example, blood type, actually you're probably right. Like it wouldn't, yeah, like because a blood type is not a range. Like it doesn't go from A to O. That doesn't make sense because they're just individual. They're all just their unique things. So Yeah, so if it doesn't have a range, it would be a single gene trait. Right? Earwax is actually a good example. Like it's either wet or dry based off of a single gene. It's one or the other. Right, yeah, by range, things could be in between. Yeah, exactly. So polygenic traits are typically going to be determined by a range, and single gene traits are not determined by a range. Is being double jointed a single gene trait? No, double jointedness is not that simple. Double jointedness is also not really... the word double jointed doesn't actually get across what you're talking about. You're talking about people that have like hyper flexibility, that are able to like, their joints are much more loose / flexible. I don't know exactly how that's determined. I don't think that's a single gene thing, but I could be wrong.
Tolerance than most people. I'm younger, and the income that I'm generating at my age is rather uncommon. So please don't think putting 10 grand into these stocks is a normal thing for someone my age. This is something that I highly recommend you to do research on. But if I'm telling you advice right now, as Brian Jung, not YouTuber Brian Jung, not investor Brian, not anything, as just regular your friend Brian Jung, I would say, yo, drop some cheese into AMC. Okay, you'll make a return right there. Now back to YouTube, Brian Jung. Everything I said was not financial advice and entertainment purposes only. I will let you guys know how much I end up closing this position by. I will hold it for a couple more days. I will see what the forums are saying. Now to close this video out, don't forget to like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed content like this. One last thing.
All right, that was a terrible video. Didn't give us any information on like the details of the actual like situation. Did I watch your friend's PUBG montage? Is it something like, is it safe? Like, is it like okay to watch on stream? Because I can't watch something on stream that's like you know, too much. Yes, it's pretty short. Okay. If it's not, there's consequences, so you know. You think it's safe. That doesn't sound so confident to me. Let's see. All right, what do we got here? Wait,
Yo.
Is this Fortnite? You're a kid now. Thanks for the sub. This looks like Fortnite to me, but it's got a lot of stuff going on it. PUBG Mobile? Wait, PUBG Mobile? It looks exactly like Fortnite, though. Hold on.
Legends never die when the world is calling you. Can you hear them screaming out? Legends never die.
So wait, this is you playing, right, Erebus? Are you soloing right now, or are you on a team? Oh, you're on a team. You're on a. It's a 4 team. Oh, you use that crouch technique, or that like you go prone. Seems pretty good.
When the world is calling out your name.
Nice. Nice, dude. Good stuff. Are you how long have you been playing that game? All right. Yeah, if it's any like conversations about the Discord or about the Minecraft server, let's leave the chat to the SMP Discord. Man, I feel like there's this. It seems to me like I'm getting close, like pretty close to having to make some sort of decision here about the server, and especially the server in regards to Appa and You're a Kid Now. Like both of you are seeming to have very much like are not compatible on the same server, and I'm getting to a point where I might just call it a. Like if you guys can't put it to rest, I might have to just make it so that neither of you are on the server, because at this point, here's the problem is like I don't want to have to constantly deal with interactions between you guys. So if you guys can get yourself under wraps here, that's great. If not, I might have to make a change to the whitelists. Okay, I want to ask the question. I missed a question in here. The Barry and all this back and forth between. Let me just make sure. So Ashi, thank you for trying to help out Sanjay about Convergent. Oh, because he asked a very similar question to what you asked. So you were trying to help Harvey explain him to that. So I think it is the so yeah, it looks like Ashi, you were doing this. Yeah, you were explaining it well. Yeah, really good. Nice, Ashi. So so Sanjay says, so two organisms converge into one. No, that's not right. They evolve similar traits. So they still are different organisms, but they evolved to have traits that would have the same function. But then for divergent evolution, one organism diverges into two. So yeah, I think, basically, I don't know, Sanjay, if you're still here. I always see you there. Ashi kind of helped you out there. But yeah, I mean, the main difference between divergent and convergent evolution is essentially divergent is when one species evolves and becomes sort of two different species. They kind of diverge away from each other. And even though they are closely related, they end up diverging into having different traits because over time they have different environments and there's different selection pressures that lead to different traits. Convergent evolution is two species that are unrelated, but usually have some sort of similarity in their environments that through the process of evolution lead them into evolving a certain trait that's similar between the two or has the same function, even though they're not related. That's the gist there. And divergent evolution can be due to mutations or different environments, right? Yeah, exactly. Yep. Krebenix, thanks for chiming in there to help Sanjay. What's up with the tacos memes going on? I don't know where that's coming from. All right, so this guy, Brian Jung, didn't really give us the info. He was just basically shelling out for AMC stocks. Wait, what is AMC at right now? Dang, AMC went from 5 to 20. Man, when you start playing with this, it gets really like you're gambling. You're really rolling dice. Okay. I think it's time to jump on MC.
So GameStop has been insanely crazy the past few days. We have seen the stock go from a little over $10 to about $160 today. And just after hours, as the market closed, we saw it touch almost $250 in a very short period of time. That's literally insane from knowing that this stock was not too long ago under 10. And even before that, it hit a low of $2.57. This is over 100 times in just 1 year. Right? Now, in this video, what I want to cover is I want to cover GameStop's massive short squeeze. I want to cover what is shorting, what is a short squeeze, how does it happen, shares float, shares short float, naked shorts, and GameStop's 140% short float, and kind of put that into pieces. So first and foremost, what is shorting, right? So I'm pretty sure everyone here is familiar with the idea of making money when a stock goes up, but you can also make money when a stock goes down. So that's basically shorting. So if you short a stock at $10, right, and that stock goes to $9, you have now made a profit of $1, right? That is shorting. Now, when you short, you are basically borrowing shares. So for example, if I go and I short a stock at $10, I have to go and now borrow this share from a broker to be able to short it. And then when I return the share, I am then buying it. So in a typical transaction of buying a stock, you hit buy and then you hit sell. When you short, you hit sell and then you hit buy. So once again, the idea of shorting is you make money when a stock goes down and you have to borrow the shares. Now, this also leads into what we're going to talk about in this video, which is short squeezes, right? So if you're borrowing shares from someone, be it a broker, the broker can request these shares back. So if the share ends up going too high, the broker may say, hey, listen, Umar,
What's up, Catherine? Essentially, does Lamarck's theory of evolution say that organisms can evolve within a single generation based on what would be beneficial to them? Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of the way to think about it. He thought that if an organism like would use a certain trait that they had like excessively or a lot, or like they really depended on it and put it to use, that somehow, right, by just simply using it, they could slightly increase its efficiency or increase it or change it, and then that change is what evolution was. And so Lamarck was wrong in the sense that he thought evolution could occur slightly within one lifetime, which we know now is not true because it needs multiple generations to occur. So in the end, Lamarck was kind of on the right track. It's just he got the mechanism wrong to an extent. He just thought like that you could. I'm gonna put my jacket on. It's actually getting a little chilly in here. Yeah, he had it wrong. He thought that like the classic example was the giraffes, right? That was in the video lecture. Like Lamarck would have thought, oh, if a giraffe just started stretching its neck out, it's going to get a little bit longer in its life. And that's how giraffes get longer necks, right? But not true. Not true. It's actually that you have a group of giraffes, and the ones that already had slightly longer necks because they were born with a certain combination of genes that gave them a little bit longer necks than the other giraffes, those were the ones that ended up, on average, reproducing more because they got more energy from the food they could reach slightly better. And so over time, the genes that code for a longer neck become more and more common. Or excuse me, not the genes, the alleles that code for longer necks become more and more common. And then, on average, the giraffe's neck length gets longer as that population moves forward in time. So it's a very important difference between Lamarck and Darwin. Important insofar as one is correct and one is incorrect. Akash, that was one of your favorite units? I think some people are big fans of it, and some people are not so big fans of it. I think because evolution is a very found this trader 1 gem for 1 gunpowder, actually pretty good. Wait, is this a prank, dude? What a prank. There's no one in there. He's pranking me? What a troll. You trolled me. What is this? Got some iron blocks for the farm. Let me guess, it's empty as well. Oh no, actually good. No problem, Catherine. Let me know if you have any other questions. So the farm, yes, we do need those iron blocks. Hello, hello. Grab some of these. We need more iron blocks. Anything else before I go back to try and finish that farm? Let me think. I don't think so. I think we had everything we needed. Yeah. Let's do it. All right, I'm trying to get more information on this whole I think I understand the whole GameStop short squeeze scenario. I kind of get it. I think the one thing that I'm not quite clear about is these hedge fund investors that were shorting GameStop. How is it that by shorting the stock, the hedge fund investors were essentially driving GameStop into bankruptcy by not making a certain amount of capital available to the company because of the way they were shorting the stock? Like, that's still something I'm not quite sure about. But I don't know if I'm going to get that level of info from these videos. And the other thing is, should I invest in AMC? Should make a poll. Should I buy AMC stock based off the one video that guy sent? I'm just kidding. Although I have heard that AMC did get a round of investing to keep them afloat through the pandemic because they were hit really hard. I think AMC actually would probably come back pretty strong. I imagine that once the pandemic is lifted, people are going to want to, like, that's one experience that I think people will enjoy going back to is watching a movie in a theater. Right? Does that seem like a reasonable thing that people are going to do more when things come back? How did you do that? Oh man, the Nether? I haven't quite figured out how to use that portal yet. It makes you want to write a machine learning algorithm to predict things like this. Predict things like what? Which kind of things are you trying to predict? Like the whole GameStop thing, or the whole problem is, how does AMC compete with streaming services? They don't. I don't think AMC competes with streaming services at all. I think AMC and streaming services are two different. I think that people who want to go to a movie theater are looking for a very different experience than someone who's staying home and watching a movie. So I think it's totally possible that a theater company, like a movie theater company like AMC, can exist and do well alongside streaming services, because I think it's just two vastly different experiences. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. Cool. Take them away. Lock them up. People that sneak stuff in with their purse, or in their purse or their bag, or let's see. I don't think anyone can claim that they've never brought something into a movie theater that they weren't supposed to. Let me see. Let's get this. I gotta find. Here's the video. Okay, let's take a look at this and see what we do now.
With a name tag. Then we just drop the...
Okay, so... man, the hard part here is going to be getting an endermite. So let's actually look at this real quick.
Entire minecart plus endermite onto an iron bar or something small. That way endermen, wherever they spawn, can see the endermite and will try...
Okay, so we want... Yeah, we need a lot of ender pearls. I have the ender pearls, though. So where do we want the entrance to be? Let me see how he has this set up.
You guys the world download so you can see exactly how to build this up. But you can see how all the endermen are being concentrated and spawning directly on this platform down here. And then once they spawn in, they are attracted to the endermite, which is...
So it's 2 blocks. Oopsie. You know what? I probably shouldn't have made iron trapdoors, because now I just need I have to use a bunch of levers to deal with these things, which is actually kind of annoying and might actually get in the way of some of the stuff. What's up, LOL Fighter? Are we going to cover natural selection and the theory of evolution after or before the temp check? My plan is to debrief the video lecture and go over the material a little bit before and then do the temp check. So the plan is to do a little debrief of the video lecture, answer any questions, temp check, and then move to some new, not new material, but a case study about flightless birds. No problem. Got to jump down real quick and grab. Carpet is needed. Rail. Need the minecart. Oh man, you know what I'm missing is trapdoors. That's actually going to be an issue. Man, I got to go back and get... I really actually have to go back and get more trapdoors. I kind of messed this up. Shoot. All right, I will be right back. Is the lab going to be on Monday then? Yeah, the M&M lab is on Monday. We're not going to be doing that in class until Monday. I got 2 dark oak. Okay, yeah, you can show me the way to get back there. They probably should actually get one more trapdoor. Ahana. The skeleton notes for the video lecture. What are we supposed to put in the box under the picture of the giraffes on the first page? Let me look. Let me double check. I'm trying to remember what the... I don't remember off the top of my head what the notes looked like. Let me see. Yeah. I think what you're supposed to write in there is essentially a description of like how Lamarck would have explained the giraffes. But yeah, I guess if you want to make it clarify that it's not correct, you could add something like Ashi did about what disproved it. No, that's not what I want. Trapdoor. Pressure plate. Stick. Wait. How do you make a trapdoor? Does that require slabs? Oh, like that. Crazy. Would never have guessed. Just get an extra couple. Okay. All right, so Appa, let's take a look where we go from here. How do we get through the nether portal? Shortcut it. Every time I come up this thing, I just need to like remind myself, build an elevator. Take the half hour to build the elevator. We are building a Wither Rose farm. Oh my god, you. Oh yeah, I think I saw this before. No problem, Ahana. Nice. Okay. Good to know. Oh, almost made it to the top there. Dang it. Trapdoor there.
Which is in the center. The endermite does have to be produced by having a player in survival throw ender pearls. You can't use creative, you can't use summoning to get this endermite. It's a special type of endermite. I also put it in a minecart because if there's somewhere close by for him to walk off to, like right here, he will attempt to.
Wait, did I do this right? Hold
to
on.
just
I
jump
might have
onto
messed this whole
People
thing up
also
here.
said like in Spigot, mobs can drop a lot farther than like in vanilla. But best to just go ahead and put him inside of a minecart. Make sure to name tag him before you put him in minecart. Otherwise, you have to name tag him when he's inside the minecart, which is really tricky to do. But you can actually do this by being in Elytra mode and shoving your character into the same minecart as him, and then right-clicking with a name tag. Then we just drop the entire minecart plus Endermite onto an iron bar or something small. That way, Endermen wherever they spawn can see the Endermite and.
So it looks like it's like this. And we go boom, boom, and we put this on that. No, wait, it's got to be facing down. Do you see how it's supposed to get on there? It's supposed to be... Maybe it's supposed to be like that. I think that's supposed to be like that.
And we'll try to get close as possible to them. And if they try to come from any other sides, they're not going to be.
Yeah. Okay, that looks right. Now the tricky part is going to be doing this Endermite thing. So we got to get a... We have to get an Endermite to spawn in a minecart. And then also then get the minecart. Do I have armor without thorns? No, not on me. So how high does that thing go?
That close, and so they're going to see that, oh, I can come over here if I stand right here. I'm the closest to the Endermite. Well, when they stand there, they also fall down the hole. That's why all the Endermen are falling down this hole on their own.
So how
Put in
tall
some
above
carpets
that
here
is
to
it?
prevent Endermen from teleporting on top of these blocks. And we remove the blocks from down here to not affect the spawning rates of Endermen. And solid blocks at their foot level will reduce mob spawning. Also, Endermen are kind of tall, so they can kind of see.
So like we have to think of, like, I don't know how many blocks above this. What does that look like? 2? Like 2 blocks, then a bar, then the minecart? What's up, Akash? You think it's 2? Oh, I don't have my iron bars on me. We can make a mini platform. Okay, well, we need it to be before putting it in a minecart. So I'm gonna go. Yeah, let me go grab the minecart and the iron bar or the name tag and the iron bar real quick. How do you get the rail over that, though? Ah. Oop. So then, so if we just fill this with ender pearls? Oh, what the heck? Wait, how do I throw an ender pearl into a minecart? Oh man, I keep going inside of the minecart when I don't want to do that. Actually, let's do... There, you can slide it in between. Oh, you got it? Get it into the minecart? Wait, how do you push it into the minecart? Oh, it died. I have thorns, so it died on me. Yeah. Wait, why can't we just toss there we go, perfect. So if you can generate on that side and then push it in here. Will the temp check have any 1, 2, 3, 4 questions? There might be, yeah, one. Oh, there it is. There it is. You got it. You got it. Wait. Oh, there you go. If you put a name tag on it, will that prevent it from attacking us? Will that like tame it almost? Oh, it won't. Well, how do we get it stuck in a minecart? Wow, this one's not spawning. That's crazy. It said it was a 5% chance. Oh, there we go. Whoa, it just fell through. Wait, is it even possible? This farm better not be completely impossible to make because you can't get an endermite in a cart. Wait, is it not staying in the cart though? I'm reading the comments on the video, and no one is mentioning anything about difficulty getting an endermite into the cart. Like, that's not even coming up. If you're struggling with naming the endermite and aren't using the elytra method, put a ladder in your box so you can get out easily without risk of releasing the endermite. Then you can just name tag it safely from the end. Okay. Whoa, it just falls right through the minecart. It clips through the minecart. This is actually making it seem like this is not going to work. I don't know how it falls through. Like, it seems like it's not... It might be an issue with... Let me see. I'm trying to look this up. Let's see. Endermite clipping through minecart. How to catch an endermite in a minecart.
A lot of food on you. You're also going to need a lot of pearls because the chances of actually spawning an endermite are 5% on throwing a pearl, which means you need to throw around 20 pearls to actually spawn one of these little buggers.
All right, here, let's try this, guys. Make it, put the minecart onto a rail and see if that helps. Because right now it's like not on a rail. And I wonder if putting it on a rail is going to be helpful here. And then we can always push it off the rail later into the spot we want it to be. So yeah, get it on that rail and don't let it move from that rail so that it's, maybe that'll help it. We're still trying to trap it, yeah. We're having issues with the endermite clipping through the cart, and I'm trying to figure out a way to deal with it. Okay, so that's on a rail. The heck, I keep launching fireworks. I'm out of ender pearls.
But just keep throwing the pearls, and eventually one will spawn. Once you do get the endermite to spawn, you want to name him as soon as you can, and then start jumping in the section next to him to push the minecart into him, and he will be pushed into the minecart.
Wait, let's try. One sec. One sec. Yeah, try and have it spawn in front of the minecart, and then we'll push the minecart into it. That was what it was showing. Bye, Ashi. Have a good night. I feel like we're not getting any luck with these spawns right now. Oh. Wait, Akash, are you wearing thorns? What's up, creepy? Oh, you are wearing thorns. All right, Nate. Have a good night. I should go get some ender pearls too. Dang, I need to put my chest armor on if I'm gonna do this. Before I die. Yeah, we can core protect stuff. You got it? Okay, is it named? Did you have a name tag on it? Wait, how do you put a name tag on it? I wonder if you have to put a name tag on it before you put it in the cart. I don't even know how to use a name tag. You just right click on it? Because yours isn't named? Oh, you have to actually put something on the name tag to use it. I see. All right. Well, you guys work on this. What's up, President's Downloads? What's up? The video says it's hard but possible. Okay. Yeah, Creepy. Which block? Is it at the gold farm? At the mob farm. Okay. All right. I'm gonna be back. I'll let you guys get the. I think it's probably easier to put a name tag on it before you push it into the cart. I will be back in a little bit. Gotta do some core protecting. The mob farm. All right, I'm like pretty much right at the mob farm. Which block? Is it up top? Oh. Where are you? Oh, you're way up there. It's an observer on the first spawning layer. Dude, how did I fall in here? Are you kidding me? Oops. Of course, I just messed up somebody's. Oh, I see. You made a little trap. That's cute, whoever made that trap. There's like a minefield of traps here. Let me come up. It's an observer. Wait, what did you say? An observer on the first spawning layer. Why? This one? Okay. I got to remember how to activate Core Protect. Core Protect. Inspect. Now enabled. So it says water placed 9 hours ago and 10 hours ago. No data found for this location. Wait, the dispenser just added water bucket, removed water bucket. Observer's not coming up with anything. Wait, which one's the the observer? Wait, where's the observer? This thing that you're touching, right? No block data found for this location. Yeah, I'm using the inspect tool, unless there's... There's inspect. There's look up. Status. Maybe look up. Let's see. It says 9 hours ago, Creepy Stalker placed observer. 10 hours ago, broke observer. Oh, wait. Oh, right and left click is different, actually. Oh, hashtag creeper broke observer. Creeper. Sorry, I thought I said creepy stalkers, but you placed it, and then like an hour later, it looked like a creeper broke it. Based off of this. Does that make sense that you placed this 9 hours ago? So at like noon today? You broke it, then replaced it. Yeah, you replaced it at noon. It says Creepy Stalker placed observer at, 9 hours ago. And then it does say hashtag creeper broke observer. Yeah, I think it is. Like, what if I look at some of these other ones? No data found for the dispenser. No data found for any of this cobblestone. Oh, a creeper broke this cobblestone slab over here, and it said was placed by Appa. Which one? That one? Let's see. Creepy Stalker placed cobblestone slab. Creeper broke cobblestone slab. Yeah. So it looks like the creeper broke a couple things in here. Yeah. Okay. Didn't you want me to look at your mob farm as well, or your gold farm? Oh, that was you. Okay. All right. Anything else? You do have one more place though. Where? Second top scaffolding on this tower. I don't know where you are. I didn't see where you went. The big scaffolding tower next to the farm? Next to... Oh, okay. Jeez. I gotta get better control here. It's all good? Okay. Okay, so the last thing I want to do before I head out is make sure that the farm is... Oh, whoops. To disable core protect. Undo? Oops. How do I disable core protect? Just command it again. That didn't work. Oh, I just go CO inspect, I see. Okay, there we go. Oh my god, I run so fast on this soul sand, it's like I can't even know where I'm going. Is the Thorn's armor really becoming a problem? How fast will an Endermite kill you if you're not in armor? Why don't you just take off your armor? Oh, I see. My entire set is thorned out. I have like one piece of diamond chest armor that doesn't have it. Maybe we could use that. Oh, just got one in there again. So what's the difficult part about this? Is it's not, doesn't seem like it's getting the Endermite into the cart anymore. It's getting the name tag on it. Have you tried naming it, putting the name tag on it prior to putting it in the cart? Then you risk wasting a name tag. That's what you're trying. Okay, well. Wait, is it named as well? Oh, it is? Nice. Don't get too close to it. All we have to do is just push it over onto the bar. Steady as she goes. Akash, get out of there! We can break this. Where the heck did it go? It just disappeared. Yeah, just tap it over. Yeah, tap it all the way over. Push it a little more. All right, good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Now, all of this stuff we can sort of start to take down. This ender chest can go. All of your guys' shulker boxes can go. We're going to disable this whole thing here. Leave everything except the bar with the mine. I'm hoping that the minecart stays on top of this bar. Good. Let's see. All right, we got. I'm hoping that this thing balances. Nice. Beautiful. There we go, baby. That's looking really nice up there. Surprisingly difficult, but it looks surprisingly nice right now. That actually looks really good. Okay. So. Oh, shoot. So those stay open like that. So this should work now. This platform should attract Endermen. Problem is, it doesn't look high enough. Oh, actually, it says the observation platform is what we care about. Let's see. In terms of its height, let's see what we need to put the observation platform at. Vertical height between AFK platform and Enderman spawning platform is 85. Wow, we gotta go up 85 blocks for the spawning platform. So I'll go up 85. And then what do we put up there? Just a piece
over
of
this little
glass?
ledge here, so it don't matter where they are. Even if they're like right here, still see the endermite and will walk around. Trap door here is just to align them as well. When the wither is by yourself, it might be a little bit difficult. So I need. The way you would run this farm is you would AFK up way high in the air, and when you stand much higher above the other islands, the mobs won't be able to spawn there. You can start seeing they're despawning. They're getting more concentrated towards the center. And the higher we go, we're eventually going to stop them from spawning altogether. In 1.16 we had this really cool option here to allow us to see entities from really far away. So even if I turn that to max, you see there is actually no endermen spawning on the island. They're only going to spawn on this little platform here. So we go up here, here's the AFK spot by this glass. And this is sitting at Y level 202. The Y level will depend on where your gateway portal is at. You want your AFK point to be just under 128 blocks above your gateway portal. And I'll provide you guys a real download so you can see.
So, okay. Glass. I don't have a piece of glass on me, but it doesn't have to be glass, right? It can be any material. I think maybe glass is nice just because you can see through it. Oh, you're right. Wait, they can't spawn on glass? Oh, I didn't know that. That's good to know. Okay. Well, in that case, oh, nothing spawns on glass. Now it makes sense why all these farms are built out of glass. I was always wondering, like, why do people use glass for everything? Do they just like to see through stuff? Because it doesn't look so good. But now it actually makes sense. Oh, well. Okay. So let's we'll have to go get glass, so we can do that later. So for now, I'm gonna go back down. Oh, that was a sweet landing. That was soft. So the bottom of this is the part that's gonna be a little trickier to build. And I'm not 100% sure I have like a full amount of time to actually build this whole thing out. Later, Akash. Let's see. So they're gonna fall there. Boom. Gotta look at the
heads are kind of wandering. They can go after whatever is around them. Doesn't matter what the main head is focused on. They'll just try to attack something else that is nearby. And they don't really get distracted as well. So they're not going to get distracted by that chicken. Instead, they're going to see this new target over here. Since they do have a line of sight to it, and they're going to try to kill it.
Wait, what?
You notice how each time they turn around, attack the Enderman, and then they face forward again? Because this is forward for the Wither. He's facing
Oh
this
wait,
way.
this is
The
already
side
starting to
swivel,
spawn
so they
Enderman,
just go
huh?
around and start shooting skulls backwards. The skulls don't really leave this bedrock. If you notice, they kind of start right.
You went through what? The portal? Oh, so you're in the end then. Do you have an ender chest? Yeah, find another portal. Man, these Endermen are already spawning here. This is... actually just free XP. Eight ender pearls just from that. This is actually a good Enderman farm right now. Where do you go? I don't know. I don't know where the other portals are. Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at this.
Here, you can kind of see them for a very split second. They start here, and then they just move a little bit, but then they end up hitting the bedrock, and then they blow up. But the explosions are close enough to the Enderman that they kill them by means of the Wither Skull, which allows them to drop the Wither Rose. If they die from other things like explosion damage, then it won't do the same. So it needs to be killed by the Skull. And because of this, every single Enderman will drop a Wither Rose. Another change you might notice is I didn't actually put water down on any of the island. This is because we're going to have the player AFKing up so high, so if the Endermen do try to teleport...
So that goes down all the way. Like that. let's see.
Out, they will just despawn instead of just sitting over there holding up the mob cap. Actually, what really happens is majority of the Endermen never even teleport out, which is kind of strange. This is because they die so quickly from the explosions that they don't have time to teleport out. Teleporting usually occurs when they get damaged, but they still have hearts, and then they teleport out. Only once in a while will a Enderman be so far back here, or he'll be still falling while taking damage, will he be able to teleport. And because that is so rare to occur, it's not worth actually putting in any water around the island. Even if the island is directly underneath you, you don't need to put any water in. So it makes this build actually much easier to
All right, so it looks like that, and then so that goes there, and then there's one block there, and then there, and then the composts go out from there. So it's like need these composts. Okay, and then carpets cover this. Then there's another layer of carpets on top. And then underneath that is where all of the hoppers are. That there, and then there should be there's literally hoppers all along here. These are like daisy chained together.
Build up. The way you would run this farm is you would AFK up way high in the air, and when you stand much higher above the other islands, the mobs won't be able to spawn there. You can start seeing they're despawning. They're getting more concentrated towards the center, and the higher we go, we're eventually going to stop them from spawning all together. In Windows 16 we had this really cool option here to allow us to see entities from really far away. So even if I turn that to max, you see the thing is double carpet.
Okay. So the one that's this block here is correct. Oh wait. Okay, so there should be a hopper right there. And then no, hold on. So that, man, I need a better view. Is this a good view? Good angle?
There's a trapdoor here. You will try to look for something.
So it's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hoppers daisy chained together. Starting from the block, obviously directly right under. And it looks like that's a slab, and that's a slab. So, is there a gap there?
Something else and attack it.
Oh, there's a slab. Wait, that's a slab. Wait, did I mess this up? Hold on a second. So then, and then directly below that is a slab. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, actually this looks right. This looks fine.
This means he will get bored and his side heads can rotate and they should have loose skulls, which could come around and break this block, allowing him to...
Okay. Oh! How did it get out? Dang it. It's gonna knock me off. Jesus, that thing like escaped. It's a full block, that's a half block. So I think we need more slabs, actually, to do this correctly. Which I don't have on me, of course. Because I'm... Okay, I think I'm going to build this later. It's going to take me a little too long to get this thing going. So I'm going to head back. I'll check out your demo, Creepy, on my way back, and then we'll call it night. I'll finish this. This should be something we can easily wrap up tomorrow. Pretty easy. Thanks for the help, Appa, and also... Jeez. Akash, who's not here anymore. All right. Let me just make sure I don't forget. I'm going to put some slabs in my inventory because I will forget tomorrow that I needed them in the first place. There's one there. Diorite is probably fine. But I should actually use cobblestone to make it look halfway decent. But I don't have a cobble. Oh, there we go. Cobblestone. Bingo, bango, bongo. Give me some slabs. Okay, creepy. What do you? What's your? Where are you at? Where's your thing you're trying to show me? You're outside. Whereabouts outside? Down the stairs. Okay. What is this? Demo version. Click button while in minecart. Piston Bulko Burby fast. I will build a big one day. Demo. What the heck, dude? So you get in the minecart. Oops. And then you click. Whoa. Wait a minute. So wait, let me wrap my head around how this thing works. So it's a series of pistons connected to repeaters that alternate the tracks and basically propel you forward. Jeez. So if you built this thing... Wait, can this thing do turns, though? It can. You can make this thing turn. So you could essentially create like a... So what's the... Uh-oh, creeper. So what's the advantage of a... of this over just a powered rail, a maxed speed powered rail? Is this just faster? It's faster by... But like... How many how much faster? Because this thing looks like it's a lot harder to make. You have all these pistons, all these repeaters.
It's a lot harder to make. I believe the actual numbers are... I don't remember the exact numbers. I think that this is like... I forget if it's 25 or 30 blocks per second. Whereas... Actually, no, wait, I can calculate it. This version is going to be 20 blocks per second. No. 20? Yeah, 20, I think. That sounds right. And then the minecart's going to be like 6 blocks per second. Wait, hang on, I have a tool that will show me. Okay, minecart goes at around 8 blocks per second. Let's see in this. I don't know if it's going to accurately show me.
Dang, that thing is fast. It looks faster when you're watching someone do it than when you're actually in it.
Yeah, it's, I believe, the straight version is 14 blocks per second-ish, whereas the diagonal version is something like 25 blocks per second.
So the diagonal version is actually faster.
Like, diagonally is also faster, but the diagonal version is also faster because instead of 1 piston being triggered per repeater tick, it's 2 pistons.
Pretty sweet. That looks nice. I wish you luck with your large-scale endeavor on that. All right, everybody, I'm going to take it out for the night. I will see you all in the morning. Have a good one. All right, everybody.
The numbers just match up so that if you want to go straight, if you use a diagonal one and go like diagonal and then diagonal back, it's slightly slower.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, everybody, have a good night. I'll see you probably tomorrow. I should try to finish up this farm. Oh, Pasty Newt, if you're still there, I did not see your hydrate. I'm sorry, I've been looking at Restream rather than Twitch chat today because I was streaming to YouTube as well. My bad. But if you're still there, cheers. And a good night.